Hi, Cooler fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the Vetroo Lurker V360. Now, sometimes it's not called Lurker. Sometimes it's just V360. And so it's a little bit confusing when you look on the website and you don't find it. But it's there. Trust me, it's there. And unfortunately, this came to me as an open box, so I decorated it a little bit there just to make it more exciting. And there are the specifications. Vetroo is not very good about giving specifications. They never have been. They often, with their fans, they don't give much in the way of specifications either, and it's really irritating. But I've asked them in the past, can you please put specifications? And they say they will, and certain companies just don't really care to provide good specifications, and some companies lie about the specifications. So this supports ARGB, and according to the box, it supports Vetroo ARGB. It doesn't mention any other brands, which is annoying because, of course, Vetroo doesn't, to my knowledge at least, doesn't make motherboards. So I know that this works with Asus because I use it on my Asus board and it lights it up, which suggests it probably works with BioStar, MSI, ASRock, Gigabyte, and so on. Maybe not Razer, but Razer is kind of funky anyways. Also, this is using PWM for the fans. It's got fluid dynamic bearings. What else? It's compatible with LGA 1700, 1200, 1150X, and 2000XX, and as well as that, the AMD sockets 5, 4, 3 plus, 2 plus 2, 2 plus and 2, that is, and FM2 plus and FM2. So this covers a wide range of different CPUs. Let's start out by looking at the fan. This is one of many that have come in a cheap cardboard tray, and this one's really been through some damage, unfortunately. All right, so this is what it looks like. Pretty basic, standard. I asked Vetroo because I wanted to get a fan from them that represented their powerful fans, and they said we don't have any. So if you're looking for powerful fans, you can take Vetroo off of your list, according to them. All right, so let's look at the lighting, which it's standard. It's nothing special. And that's all you get from it. And there are a lot of fans that look exactly the same as this. I mean, a lot. If I were to take the time to photograph every fan from every angle, I would start to see, aha, all of these companies are using the same fan, or at least physically they look like the same fan. The specifications may not actually be the same thing. They're just choosing, oh, well, we like this frame, for example. And let's match it with this impeller and with this motor and these bearings, mixing it up the way you want it to be. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to turn this on so that you can see the lighting when it's in motion. Okay, and that's the effect you get. Now, it's actually moving faster than what I see on my screen, so if you think it's moving really slowly, it is, but it's not moving as slowly as it appears on my screen. That's more representative from that side. All right, now we're going to listen to it. There's our harmonic resonance right away. There's another. And again. Now I hear a rubbing noise. Oh, that's just my hair. Another. Again. Oops. I bumped the power cable. Another harmonic resonance. So it's not terribly loud. In fact, once it's in the case, most of the time you won't even hear it, unless you're really sensitive for one reason or another. As far as the static pressure is concerned, it's got less than 1 millimeter of static pressure, maybe like 0.75, something like that. So this is good as a case fan. You can use it on smaller air coolers, but I wouldn't use it on big coolers and definitely not on a radiator. That was thrilling, right? Oh, so thrilling, Glenn. Thank you. Just call me EA. All right, so for the mounting materials, since this came as an open box, it doesn't have the original package that the mounting materials came in, but it does include, you know, lots of nuts and bolts, and it has thermal paste with also a spatula. Let me see if I can see which thermal paste they sent. Okay. There is some information on this one. Ooh, it's gray and 1700 poise viscosity, 25 degrees Celsius. Bulk thermal conductivity, more than 5 WMK, watts per MK, and volatile content 2.5%. I don't think that they mean volatile as in explosive, but rather that it'll decay over time. I kind of feel like I think it's missing some things. This is probably for AMD. And then I think this is for, yeah, this is Intel. But I don't think it has all of the parts. Let me just take a look at their website. Yeah, let me show you. This is what should be in here. We have all the Intel stuff, and we have the AMD stuff as well. Controller. So everything is here. This is a controller, and it's only for lighting. So it's standard ARGB, and it can do up to 4. And you can, at least in theory, if you have the right cable, you can connect it to, I don't know if that would be for the reset button to be used as the control for turning the LED lights on and off. That would be my guess. It has a connector for standard ARGB, also for SATA. And then this is a 1-to-3 PWM splitter. I suppose you probably want to see me use this. Gosh, you guys are so demanding. Now, obviously, you don't have to use the controller if you don't want to. If your computer motherboard does not support a standard ARGB connection, like if you have an older one, for example, then you can use this with just the SATA to provide power for the lighting and then control the lighting with this. And it does have a magnet on it, so you can stick it up somewhere inside of your case or on the outside of your case so you have ready access to it. If it supports 5 volt, you can use And this, standard ARGB is typically 5 volts, although there are 12 volt ARGBs, and standard RGB is typically 12 volts, but sometimes there are 5 volt RGBs. But normally ARGB is 5 volts and RGB is 12 volts. So don't ever connect or try to connect ARGB to RGB, and don't connect RGB to ARGB, because, well, if it's an ARGB header, it's not going to power the lights correctly. If it's an RGB header, it'll destroy the lights. So you can do it one of two ways. You can do it with just this and this, or you can do it with just this if in both cases where the motherboard supports 5 volt ARGB. And then you connect your fans here. So I'm not going to use the SATA. Instead, I'm just going to show you what you would do. So take your fan, which can also be connected directly to the motherboard, and you can daisy chain it. These fans do not actually have daisy chaining, so you'd have to have a multi-port hub or lots of headers on your motherboard. As long as everything is connected correctly, it should work without the SATA, but for some reason this is not working without the SATA. So now I'm going to connect it with the SATA. This is plugged into the motherboard, but the controller is controlling it, and so I'm using the button on here to change the mode. Very exciting stuff. And the lighting is not moving. That's weird. Should move on an ARGB fan. But yeah, so there are not lots of good options with it. This one is moving. The other one was static. Okay. So that's what that looks like. So here's our block. And it has only got power for... Oh, wait. It's got power for both. So the pump is in here. It's got a 3-pin connector there, and it's got ARGB there. And the radiator, which is a little beat up, has a fill port. So if you need to top off the liquids in here, you can. It's a pretty standard radiator, like most of them are. Standard thickness and everything like that. And you can see that the plastic is off. And that means that this was actually used, which... Had I known that when I ordered it, I would not have ordered it. But sometimes the sellers, they'll sell something that's used as new or open box just to get rid of it. Let's go ahead and turn on the pump. All right, so there we have that. So you can see, nothing special, and you can't rotate it. Which is, it's such a simple thing to have a rotating cover for a water block. And these companies, they don't do it. And there are people out there, they're like, I don't want to have this installed like that or like that. It's got to be like this, because they have OCD or whatever. And so then they're all stressed out and stuff, and they're trying to figure out. And then they may install it in the wrong way that makes it upright, but at the same time messes up performance. All right, now let's listen to how noisy it is. So probably right now, because I've got it up like this, the air that might have been in the radiator is now in the block. I'm going to use my lapel mic. Finally, I'm hearing the water move. That's actually a little bit on the noisy side. Wow. Okay. This is one of the, so far, out of the AIOs that I've previewed and used, this is the noisiest one. So let me see if I can get any air out. Wow. I don't know if it's because this is used
or if it's just always this noisy.
Supposedly the maximum speed on this is 2800, and for 2800 this is really rather noisier than I would expect. So either this, again, because somebody tricked me and sold me a used one, or it really just is a noisy pump. It's not bad enough to bother me, but if you're sensitive to noise, you might want to think twice about getting this particular AIO. The tubes on the block do rotate, and the cold plate is sufficient for most CPUs. I don't know why I'm looking at my second screen instead of you guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing any more open box stuff. Too much risk. So one more thing about this is that I did take one of the fans and press it against the radiator and turn it on at full to see how much air was actually making it through the radiator. And there's air going through. It's strong enough to do that. However, as with almost every other one that I've previewed so far, you're better off getting stronger fans than the ones provided with this cooler. If you are looking for better ones, get something that's got at least 3 millimeters of water for the static pressure. I think that if you can get this at a low price, it's worth the money, maybe. But if that is normal noise level for the pump, I'm a little bit concerned that it might not be worth it, and especially because they don't publish their specs. That also is a big concern for me. The user manual that comes with it, I'll show you what it looks like. There it is. That's all you get. No specs, just one page with instructions. And yeah, so this is typical of Vetroo, unfortunately. If you have questions, I'll try to answer your questions in the comments. If you have questions about the specifications, you'd be better off asking Vetroo. I might try to reach out to them and get specific information from them. They usually respond. It just takes a little while sometimes. It's just an okay. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Part of why one of my goals here isn't just to show you hidden gems or expensive things or whatever. I don't really do expensive stuff because, well, even before I lost my job and had a shoulder replacement surgery and my car screwed up and my dad died and stuff, I still wasn't buying the expensive stuff because that's not my goal. My goal is to rather show people what's out there and hopefully help them to find something that will meet their needs and save them some money, which is hard to do because there's a lot of junk out there and prices vary wildly from one country to the next.